I remember when all the votes were in, me and this girl were doing the devil's tango. And one thing led to another. As we were laying beside each other, she turns on the TV and saw that Trump won the election, and things just went wild to the point where I was scared for my life. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another insane but crazy story. Now, usually on this channel, I would never say stories about, things super recent, but this has got to be said because this story goes more insane than probably most other stories I would say on my channel. But this story takes place back literally almost 1 week ago. I remember I was in my apartment chilling and just editing some videos that I wanted to do for this channel. And while one thing led to another, out of nowhere, I ended up getting a phone call. And when I looked at my phone at who was calling me, it was actually one of my previous sneaky links from way back when, back in high school. Actually, funny enough, I have told the story about her before, but I'm not gonna say who it was on this channel since privacy reasons are a big deal. But going on with the story, I remember when she started to call me, I was really weirded out. I did not expect her to ever call me, so I remember I ended up answering my phone being like, hello? Hey, Bubba, what's up? I'm good. I haven't spoken to you in a long time. What's going on? What's new? Well, I'm coming into town for a bit, and honestly, I thought it'd be really cool to see you. It's been a while, and I know you've been, super busy with, the whole YouTube thing, so I was just wondering, do you want to, maybe hang out? Yeah, sure, I would love to. Oh, okay, well, you know what? I'm just passing through the border right now, so maybe I'll see you in, 20 to 30 minutes? Sure. Now, for all the people that are new to the channel, one thing I'm gonna say is that I'm Canadian, okay? So before anyone thinks that I have a really strong political view on things, I really don't. To be honest, as a Canadian citizen, I don't get to vote on American politics. And another thing is that the reason this girl was coming across the border was because back after high school, she ended up moving to America and becoming an American citizen because she went to school in America as well after high school ended. She was studying in a law school in America, and I remember I thought it'd be really cool to see her again and maybe do the devil's tango. So I remember I ended up staying in my apartment doing my own thing until literally 30 minutes. 30 minutes went by, and I remember this girl calls me once again, and when I answer it, she goes, oh, hey, Bubba, I think I'm around your area. I'm not really sure. Can you send me your address? Yeah, sure, no problem. I got you. And then that's when I sent her my address. And no joke, 5 minutes afterwards, I ended up hearing a ring coming from downstairs in my building. I remember I went down there to bring her up myself, and I wanted to see her, and right as she saw me, she ended up giving me the biggest hug. I ended up asking her, oh, so why are you back home? What's going on? Are you moving back? Oh, no, it's just this whole election thing's going on in America, and honestly, I just don't want to deal with it because things are not looking so bright. Oh, you mean the whole Trump and Kamala thing that's going on? Yeah, it's so dumb. It seems like people just don't care about women nowadays. Oh, yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know why they don't care about women. Wait, what do you mean by that exactly? And that's when I realized this girl ended up going on a giant rant about basically Trump supporters and how they're evil and all this crazy stuff. I ended up just sitting there listening because once again, I'm not really a political person, so I ended up kind of just ignoring half of the things she was saying because I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't apply to me. I'm Canadian. But after she finished talking to me about it, I ended up basically moving on from the subject because once again, I did not want to talk about politics with her. And me and her ended up talking about life. She ended up sitting down on my couch and she ended up telling me about how she's proud of me of what I've done and how it's cool that I'm becoming a YouTuber. I never actually knew if she knew what my channel was and stuff because one of the main things that she used to always argue with me is about how I apparently treat women like objects, which personally I don't. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Women aren't objects. I know this channel maybe sometimes make it seem like I treat them like one, but they're really not. And sure, maybe you can subscribe to a woman online as if they are an object, but me personally, I don't believe that they are. My own personal opinion is that a human is a human and that's it. But going on with the story, I remember after a while, she ended up starting to flirt with me out of nowhere. And it's slowly starting to feel like the way it did back in high school when me and her were sneaky links. Because I think part of me knew that she always had a little crush on me, but since I was a massive player back in high school, I never really gave it a chance for me to her to, I guess, be together. So since she was flirting with me, I remember me and her, we ended up going inside my car and we actually ended up going for dinner outside since it was still pretty early to be at my place. And as we went out for dinner, I remember we sat down at a restaurant and we started eating and basically talking about family. The only reason why we were talking about family is because she knew my family since my parents one time walked in on us, but that's a story for another time. And honestly, it was really good just to catch up with an old friend. But then I remember at the restaurant, since there was TVs kind of floating in the air, one of the waitresses thought it would be a smart idea to turn on the TV and put on the election that was going on between Trump and Kamala Harris. And I gotta say, it was a big mistake because I remember at this day, it was November 5th and they were counting the polls for who was winning the election and what state was voting for what. And it got so awkward weird because I remember when the waiter turned on the TV, the girl I was with ended up seeing that Trump was starting to win the election. And that's when she looked at me and said, Baba, do you see what I see? Yeah. Seems like the red team's winning. Baba, do you know what the red team is? It's Trump. And Trump cannot win. Why not? Baba, he's a murderer. He's a felon. Like, he's a bad guy. And I'm just gonna say this right now. Once again, I really don't know anything about politics, but I remember looking at the TV screen at this moment, and I ended up seeing that there was apparently like a whole thing going on where Donald Trump got shot in the ear by a weapon. I don't really know, but apparently this girl was telling me how all people on the red team are like murderers and bad guys and, you know, the not good side. When on the TV, apparently the leader of the red side, Donald Trump, was about to get shot. I really don't know what's going on, if I'm being for real. America, if you guys watch my videos and if you guys are American, please comment down below. I really don't understand what's going on in America, nor do I want to know. But I do one day plan to move to America, so I should probably study up and figure out what I'm walking into. But going on with the story, I remember it got to the point where this girl got super upset that I didn't understand that much about politics, and she called me one thing that I never appreciated, which was stupid Canadian. Don't get me wrong, us as Canadians, we're not that stupid, but I guess in her mind we were, since we don't understand your guys' government politics. And well, one thing led to another. I remember after that dinner, we ended up going back inside my car, and that's when I looked at her and told her the god honest truth, where I told her saying, yo, I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't really think it's cool for you to call me a stupid Canadian. Like, just because I don't understand something doesn't make me stupid. Like, I'm sure you don't know anything about Canadian politics as well. Yeah, that's true, but like, honestly, I don't really want to talk about politics anymore. How about we just don't bring it up for the rest of today? Yeah, sure. I'm 100% okay with that. Okay, perfect. Let's go back to your place. I want to have some fun. So I remember me and this girl, we ended up going back to my place. And I guess the term fun, if you guys don't understand, is literally me and her went straight to my bedroom when we got there and did the Devil's Tango. And I remember right as me and her finished doing the Devil's Tango, she ends up laying right beside me and ends up turning on the TV, which was probably the biggest mistake ever. And I wish I never put a TV in my room at this moment, because I remember when she turned it on, she ended up turning it on to the election that was happening, and she saw that Donald Trump won. And since Donald Trump won, no joke, she ended up sitting up and started crying in tears. I was so confused on why, and I looked at her, I'm like, why are you crying? Because my country's ruined. Oh my goodness. Kamala Harris lost. All like the women in America are doomed. Wait, what? Doomed? Wait, why? What's gonna happen? What do you mean what's gonna happen, Bubba? We voted Donald Trump. I didn't vote, but I mean, what's gonna happen to all the women though? Like, is he gonna like get rid of all of them? What? No, he can't do that. Okay, so what is he gonna do to the women? Bubba, that's not the point, okay? Like, you don't understand what it is like to live in America. At that moment, I was so confused because I kept asking her questions to maybe like understand the topic better, but she just kept crying and crying to the point where I had a girl crying beside me the entire night. And since I didn't understand anything, I just ended up shaking my head okay and just going with the flow. But realistically, at that moment, I wish I never got involved. Honestly, I'm just curious of what you guys would do in this moment. Comment down below and just follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.